Hey everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back to my channel for a brand new Bible journaling video. Today I'm going to be journaling some sermon notes, and you'll notice that my desk setup looks a little different than usual, and this is because this is just a really impromptu video. This was created on a Sunday afternoon. I came home from church and wanted to journal these sermon notes and thought, hey, maybe I should film this. So I just turned on the camera just as I had started. For today's sermon notes, I'm going to be using the All People, All Nations collection from Illustrated Faith and Bella Blvd. Because the sermon was about love. We were going through a series on faith, hope, and love, and there's just some great pieces in here if you wanted to Bible journal your sermon notes about love. So you can see that I used a stencil. It's from Hero Arts. I'll link it in the video description below if you're interested in checking it out. And I used an ink blending tool with a couple different colors of distress ink. I think it was Peacock Feathers and Mermaid Lagoon. And it's called a tribal stencil, and I thought that the pattern went really well with this collection. So I've ended up keeping this super simple because I had a lot of notes I wanted to incorporate onto the page. And you'll see my sermon notes are over there on the right of the right side of the screen. And that is actually a template. Like, that little card is from the Print and Pray shop. So I'll link those too if you guys want to check them out. They are just a great place to keep your sermon notes. They're nice and compact. You could put them in a traveler's notebook insert. I keep mine in a little binder on my desk, and it's plenty of room for me to jot down some notes. And then they come in all different colors too, which is nice. So I ended up filling up pretty much the whole page today, so I have a lot I want to get down in the margin, and I ended up using this this tip-in that says love, and it's from the brand new larger tip-ins that are included in the releases this year. It's called the shapes, and there's all different shapes of tip-ins, like hearts and arrows and circles, hexagons, speech bubbles, just fun different shapes. This is one of the smaller ones that's included in the pack, but I wanted to go ahead and write down some of the notes on the back of this tip-in, and you'll notice that it's like there's a grid design on the back, so that was really helpful for getting my notes down. Since it's such a large piece, I didn't want to adhere it into my Bible, especially with writing on the back side, so you'll see me paperclip it in at the end. And then we were actually looking in, what is this, Luke 10 at the parable of the Good Samaritan. I'm so sorry for the shaking here. I don't have a whiteboard, so maybe it really is my camera that shakes. That's so weird. And so yeah, we were looking at the parable of the Good Samaritan, and I really wanted to pull out this phrase that Jesus said at the end to the expert in the law that was asking him what he has to do to inherit eternal life. And that's that phrase, go and do the same. So I'm looking here through a bunch of different wordfetti to see how I can shrink this down as much as possible, because there's only a teeny tiny little bit of empty space here in the text, and so I wanted to make the most of it and put this phrase in. So what I'll do is use the brand new tiny colorful alphas to get part of the phrase down. I'll use a bit of wordfetti and then just handwrite in the rest of the phrase. I really love this new 6x12 sticker sheet, the Say It Loud stickers. They're just like the perfect size, and you get so many of them on one sheet. I think it's a really great deal. So I ended up using that to kind of beef up the wordfetti and this little phrase that I wanted to stick down here. And then the tiny colorful alphas, I don't know if you know this, but they're great because they're transparent. So even though it goes over the text a teeny tiny bit, you can totally still read what's underneath. So for this sermon series, like I said, we were talking about faith, hope, and love, and there's no way I could possibly share everything that my pastor preached that morning, but I'll go ahead and share what I'm jotting down here. This was kind of like the wrap-up of his sermon. And so he said, love in God's kingdom looks different. We might have to go out of our way, go first, be the bigger person and go first, go the second mile, go last, and get uncomfortable, which is really, I think I've shared this in videos past, that is something that I've just been hit over the head with since last year, is I wasn't, created to live a nice, comfortable, safe life necessarily, and true growth happens when I'm outside of my comfort zone. So I just appreciated that that was included in the sermon this morning. Again, a great reminder and reinforcer of something that I'm just continually being taught. So to get each one of those like little bullet points down in my Bible, I thought maybe about using these homespun numbers, but that was going to take up way too much room because I knew that was a bit to write. So I ended up just using the little heart that is inside of the number 0 to kind of like bullet each point. And then I'm using the pink, navy, aqua, and orange homespun number stickers because they go really well with the All People, All Nations collection. And then at the very end, I had a little bit more room and wanted to include this quote where he said, "Love in God's kingdom behaves, acts, and speaks differently." Of course, differently than what love in the world may look like. So yeah, just keeping it real on a Sunday afternoon. This is what my personal journaling time looks like. I have a cup of coffee, I just spread everything out that I'm using, and yeah, just have fun. Here, I'm just going to use a plain old white paper clip to clip this in so that I can take it out, reference what's on the back, and then of course still read the passage in Luke 10 that I'm referencing here. I really, really, really wanted to put something in this blank spot here. I didn't really space out the journaling, and so there's a little bit of an empty space. I looked to the 6x12 sticker sheet. I didn't really find anything that I wanted to put there. Like, I didn't want to introduce a new motif, like those stars would be the perfect size to fill in that space, but I didn't really want to introduce like a new shape or anything. So I'm just gonna leave it and let the stenciling be like the thing that fills in the space. And then at the very bottom, just to bring a little bit more color to the bottom, I'm going to add some of the washi tape from, again, the All People, All Nations collection. And that's going to do it for me. Here's a finished look of my entry along with a couple of close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in picking up any of the supplies I've used, I've got them linked in the video description below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and be sure to check back next Wednesday for a brand new Bible journaling process video. See you then!